Hello, my name is Ron Perry, and I would like to welcome you back to another Meet the Modeler. Yet this time, we have a modeler again from the other side of the world. However, what I would like to point out with this interview is that, I live in North America. Many of you live in North America. I know I've got viewers from all around the world, but we started in North America, and the viewer base started in that area. So it's very easy for us as North Americans to, get an idea of another country through the news or what we see in the newspapers and stuff like that, and not really get to the bottom of what actually happens over there. And through this interview, I was actually kind of surprised in my own little sheltered way. Many things surprised me in this interview, and I think it'll surprise you too. I think it just goes to show that, when you assume what somebody is like because of their nationality or where they live or what your local news is saying about what's happening over there, maybe this is one of those places where we can keep an open mind. So let's get into it. So first off, I'd like to say something about the culture of Iraq. The gentleman that we're interviewing today is from Baghdad, Iraq. I asked that question later, so you'll find that out again. Sorry, a little bit of a spoiler there. But in Iraq, when you take your father's name, it's different than in North America. And when we say Abu Hayder, we're talking about a family name. And I think that's kind of interesting there. What Abu's real name is Samir, and I want to thank Samir for doing this interview with me. It's kind of a challenge, I highly appreciate the time that he gave to me. Abu, I am a lucky man. Somehow in my own country, Canada, I am an obscure scale modeler with a small following. Yet each month, I meet international modelers of amazing talent from all over the world. And I feel like we treat each other as equals. You are one of these talented modelers, Samir. I want to thank Joshua Smith for directing me to come and talk to you, because that was awesome. I'm a big fan of your work and very interested in this interview. Why? Because I know very little about Iraq. And I am a man who's very interested in exploring the culture and modelers from around the world. Thank you, Samir, for taking this time to talk with me. Abu, Samir, help me explain the naming conventions in Iraq. In North America, we take our father's last name. So it's not so different, but clearly it is a little bit different.
Abu Hayder. Abu Hayder means Haydar's father. Yeah. And it's like here, we call, if you have a son, we call you by, let's say, what's your kid name?
My son's name is Dylan.
Abu Dylan. Like the people names you Abu Dylan. Okay. Yeah. But my name is Samir Ibrahim Mahmoud.
So then who's Abu, so who's Hayder? I guess Abu's your father's name. Hayder is your...
My grandfather.
Okay, so it's not really all that much different. You take the first name, not the last name, kind of
Pretty much cool.
in that manner. So that's interesting. So I may make the mistake of using your Facebook name because it seems to be your brand. You know, on Facebook you're known as Abu Hayder. So I'll say that, right?
As you wish, man.
Cool.
As you wish. You can take my Facebook name.
So please excuse me if I don't say your name and say your father and grandfather's name instead.
Yeah, my Facebook name is the brand. Yeah, put that so. People knows me by Abu Hayder.
So you live in the capital city of Iraq, Baghdad. Tell us a bit about your modeling and maybe Baghdad.
I didn't use my workshop like for maybe 2 months now because it's too hot. Like it's yeah, and no electricity, so no AC, no nothing.
You have no electricity. Oh, wow. Actually, how hot is it there?
Well, we got a day off at morning time because it was maybe 55 or something.
Whoa. That's 127 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, and now it's like I don't know, maybe 43, 45 or something.
Even 45 Celsius is 130.
Yeah, man.
45 degrees Celsius is 113 Fahrenheit. Wow. You put up with a lot of heat.
Yeah, man. Like you see me, I'm sweating like boss, you know. But who cares, man?
No wonder the power's out because of all those air conditioners that are running.
No,
Or
no, no,
trying to
no,
run.
no. This electricity you see, like the electricity now, is from generator, you know. So no ACs. Yeah, no electricity from government. We use generators for most of the time. Yeah. We use generators most of the time. It's different here. Like there is a guy with a big generator. He lives in the end of the street, and we go to him and we ask him like we need 5 amperes or something. Yeah, and we do the cable from the generator to our house, to our houses, and we get the electricity from that generator.
Oh, so it's like a community generator.
Yeah.
So how big is Baghdad? So there must be like a lot of community power plants, like self-contained communities.
Well, we have like one area in Baghdad that has 4 million people. Like one neighborhood, it's really big. It's separated to different, like one neighborhood separated to different areas, you know, like blocks. You call it blocks. Yeah. All those blocks back to one area in the name, and it has like 3.5 or 4 million.
Oh wow, that's interesting. So you're modeling. When do you get? It's too hot right now. When do you get back to that?
I'm waiting like to get the weather is a bit colder so I can start work again. I have many stopped the project at the moment. Also, the compressor is not working. It's spitting water instead of air, you know, the humidity. Yeah, so I can't even paint.
Oh, the humidity's so bad you can't even use your air compressor to airbrush
Yeah.
your models. Wow, even with an air trap. How many models do you like to work on at the same time?
I don't know, man. A lot, you know. Yeah, maybe 7, 10. I'm not sure.
Is scale modeling popular in your country?
Not at the moment. It's not so popular, and we are trying to make it popular by doing a lot of modeling and share it on Facebook pages. I mean, Iraqi Facebook pages, so they can see what there's a lot of interesting things in the other world. Like they call it as third world, yeah. So they can see what's there in the other countries. Well, actually, we are a few modelers, like really few. They you can count them on your hands finger, and like it's a cool hobby, but many people here don't understand. Like they say, it's like a toys, for kids. They don't know what's the point behind the modeling.
Ah, they can't see.
Yeah,
That's a problem throughout the world. Actually, they just can't see your passion.
yeah, the passion actually, and it's actually meditation. And we are a few modelers here. We are a few, like maybe seven.
So I just want you to know that I was directed to you by Joshua Smith, the artist in Australia.
Joshua.
Also, you're not the first Iraqi that I've met. Also, Ali Alamedi, who is also from
Yeah, Ali
Baghdad.
Alam. Yeah. He is like a modeling monster. But he's not living. He's not living in Iraq. He lives in, I guess, in Turkey.
You and Ali both have very different styles, but both of you capture the urban decay of life very nicely.
Yeah, I know. Ali is working on something else. Like he's showing, I call it the bright side of Iraq. Uh, Not only Iraq, like he's showing the rest of the people how smart, like the people like Ali is from Iraq. Like you can't imagine a guy from Iraq who can build all of these things. Yeah, so he's showing for myself. I call him. He's showing the bright side of Iraq people. Yeah, for me and like three or four more people, we are showing how you call the no, not the dark side. Like the past things we pass through. Okay, like all the bad things we had in Iraq, we're showing this by our modeling. I actually I do a lot of like I do maybe old buildings and showing the culture and so, and also I am interested in military modeling.
So you're still capturing history, though, in your modeling, so that's important.
Well, we should capture it because like our kids in the future, if the government give us a space and let us put our models and save it for the for the next generations so they can see what we went through.
Oh, you'd like to put it in a national
Yeah,
museum? Oh, that would be
so we
cool.
can put all the things that we do in that place, and unfortunately the government is not supporting us. We have zero supports actually.
How is it that you became so passionate about building scale models?
Actually, I started like in 2011. I started with remote control cars, RC cars. Yeah, then I started to join Facebook groups and so on. Then I started to see like they make garages and tools, whatever. And then I found a shop in Baghdad that sell model kits. So I bought one. It was Russian T90 tank, I guess. And I start to modeling. Then I start my passions started from there. I start to do a lot of research on scale modeling and watch a lot of YouTube channels and Facebook pages. And actually, I found myself in it. Like I was uh, I was a negative guy, you know, and most of the time angry. But after I started modeling, it's different now.
Oh, look out. The therapy of scale modeling at work.
Yeah, yeah, the meditation, it gives you a relief. It clears your mind actually. Also, give you makes you a patient person. Like you have You have a lot of patience inside you now.
Actually, that's the best thing about the hobby, in my mind, is the therapy and the patience and the things that it adds to my life.
Me too, man. Me too, actually.
Looking at your photos, I see you're truly a talent with the airbrush. What do you like more, brush or airbrush?
It depends on the model I work on. Like I always prime with airbrush. Uh, I use airbrush like to paint one solid color, and then I do the shades, other stuff with the airbrush. That's about the kits, but about the buildings, I always paint with brush and airbrush also. Like I give it a solid color with airbrush and start to do the weathering with the brushes.
Oh, the airbrush. It's always clogging up on me. I have so much trouble with it. I'm always cleaning it. You mentioned briefly before something about the hobby shops, but did you... There's hobby shops in Baghdad?
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the point. Like you make it messy, yeah, and you clean it the next day, and then you make it messy, and keep messy clean. Although always about the hobby shops, we have just one hobby shop in Baghdad. That try to bring us all the things that we need from kits, paints, brushes, tools, whatever we need. We ask him to get. Like he can't get anything, it's costing a lot, but he do his best.
I think
Yeah.
that right there is interesting because, you know, I think most people around North America would never even think that there's a hobby shop in Baghdad, but there is. So there's a community that's being built around that, is there?
Yeah, we have a Facebook group. It's called Mini World. Yeah, it's talking about miniatures in generals, and cars, figures, whatever, dioramas. Then I started to see other people. Uh, Maybe they saw me do some live videos about modeling, and sometimes I paint on live or do a kit or diorama or something. Then they started to love it and they start to work with it.
Yeah, Facebook really is a platform to not only share your work, but get feedback from other modelers about how you're doing. And that's probably pretty interesting to get your local community to interact with each other about the models.
Yeah, indeed, man. Actually, one time I was in Al Rashid Street in Baghdad, and like some guy, hey, Samar, how are you? I was like, what the fuck? Who are you, man? He said, I know you are from Facebook. You doing models and so on. And I said, yeah. And he was like, maybe seeing some Hollywood movie actors or something. I was like, what? I was shocked, actually. There's a people know me.
Oh my, that's got to be one of the hardest things that I do. I'm a fairly shy guy out in public, but when I meet somebody who's seen me on YouTube or Facebook, I crumble.
Well, I wasn't nervous, but I was like, okay, that's cool.
Do the modelers that live close to you share their work on Facebook? Is it like a common thing for modelers to share their work on social media, or is this just like one or two guys who are who are passionate enough to share their work?
No. It's not because like it's something different, Like maybe you don't want to share your hobby or whatever, your profession, because you are afraid to get someone to beat you in the next level or something. Yeah, that's actually running here. But the modulars here, like they are friendly and they are supportive. Like if you missed some parts or you lost some parts, they will send you for sure. And we are helping each other.
I'd like to ask you a question about airbrushing because I'm a terrible airbrusher. Do you always have to thin your paint?
Maybe you don't thin your paint. Always thin the paint. Even if it's saying, like if you get the paint, you will read ready to shoot. Yeah, ready to airbrush. But when you put it on the airbrush, you will get it locked and start to spitting the paint. Like it will be bad paint, So always thin your paint and try on the paper or something before you start to paint.
Do you have a tip or a trick you can share with us concerning the airbrush?
We actually I use Windex with distilled water, and I have airflow improver from Vallejo. I've put a few drops of it and mix of distilled water and Windex 50-50. Mix it, put the airflow improver and start to thin it.
Windex. Oh, that's interesting. I have some under the counter. I'll have to try that out.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
I found that on the internet, by the way. And it worked for me. Yeah, man.
I have to ask a question to help in my own modeling. A little bit selfish. I'm sorry. Masking. What do you use? Or do you have any tips for a new guy in terms of airbrushing and large-scale models?
Yeah. About masking, you mean? I use Tamiya tape as a masking master, and sometimes I use liquid masking.
Oh, liquid masking. I've seen stuff like that, like Mr. Mask. Oh.
Liquid masking is like if you want to do a really crazy things, like you need to use your X-Acto knife to make the camo or something you're working on. So I use the liquid masking, and if I do like a simple camo and so I use Tamiya. Sometimes I use what do you call it in English? No. Clay. It's that clay the kids use to play with.
Oh, you mean plasticine. Oh.
Yeah, I use that sometimes.
That's interesting, because it sticks real good.
It's, that's what I could find here, Well, it's not too tacky, but, I work it out.
Figure painting, I find it very difficult. How did you get so good at it?
Yeah, actually, I do figures. Wait, let me show you something. Okay, let me get the camera on. That's I painted this figure and I made this diorama from scratch using foam, and this is snow. It's snow, and here you can notice here. Wait, here this one. It's like no, it's ice with like water, got ice by drops. Yeah, icicle, blah. Yeah, exactly. Icicle. Actually, it needs imagination, which I don't have a really big imagination about painting the figures. So I look on the internet for pictures, and like I try to take some colors from different photos. Like let's say this figure. I saw 4 or 5 photos and I took from each photo one color. Yeah, like the bag, the clothes, the shoes, and then I started to paint. This was painted by brush because I can't control the paint flow, whatever. Like you need to do some spots that really you can't reach with airbrush. Also, the small figures, the small one, like this one is, I'm not sure, maybe it's 9 centimeters or something. Uh, it's really like complicated if you paint it with airbrush. So you use a brush is better. You can control where you paint. You can reach the narrow places, spots, and you can do effects as well.
What's the next project for Samir?
At the moment, I am the last one. Like I should finish. It should be finished by now, but it's still hot. Like I said, I am working on a diorama about Iraqi Special Operation Forces battle in Mosul. I took pictures, photos from friends that they sent me. They are what you call it? We call them military photographers, whatever. Yeah, and I took some houses, and I started to build my diorama. Also, I modified the Humvee. Yeah. I modified the Humvee. Okay, let me get it. Which one? If you look on the internet, you will find it's similar to the Iraqi Special Operation Forces Humvee, which you can't find this kit over here. Like you can't find this kit never, It's not made yet. So I used Academy M1151 Humvee. I cut the rear. I used the styrene plastic and modified the back of it and make it like it. Yeah. I started with styrene modification. Like as I said, I started with RC cars, and I started to make tools and stuff from styrene plastic. Then I found the model kits. So it's not really impossible to do a modification on a model, but like you need to be patient, and you need to be like you need to have some smart ideas about how you're gonna do it. Like you do a research, you get a lot of photos about it before you start to cut and shape. Otherwise, you lose your model. Like I don't start the project. I don't build the project till I find all the pictures I need and collect all the information I need. Like this one was sitting maybe 4 months. I couldn't get any picture of Iraqi Special Operations Forces Humvee because it's not like your countries. Like if you wanna take pictures with your army vehicles, whatever tanks, it's okay for you. But here it's not allowed. So I had to see many vehicles like pass away and keep saving the information in my mind. So I started then my modification on this one.
What do you strive to achieve that is outside your reach at the moment?
Oh, okay. What's outside of my reach? I need to do. Like I saw many dioramas. I don't know the makers of it, but uh, like the models were shown in a lot of museum shows, whatever. So we have an idea here, me and let's say my modeling teacher, my building modeling teacher, like he built buildings. We wanted to do, yeah, we wanted to do a big scene about Iraq war in 2003, and we wanna take it to Europe and do some shows with it, and that is out of reach. That's something we hopefully we can reach, but I'm not sure. We are not going to reach this level because, as I mentioned before, there's no support.
Oh, that's a great idea. Then you could share your modeling with the world.
Yeah, but but not here,
Well,
man.
that's too bad.
Yeah, but like we wanted to go like to Germany. Uh, yeah, like Germany, England, uh, a big country there in Europe to show our models, to show the rest of the world we are not what they think. Like I know many friends from Europe and from the rest of the world. Like first thing they ask me, is there modeling in Iraq? Really? Yeah, really. We are people like you. Like uh, they have a bad idea. Yeah, they have a bad idea. Like they think we are all terrorists and so on. But after they know, they start to think differently. Like I don't mind if they think like that. Because they have the rights to do so. Like they see nothing good on the news. I just switch myself. Like I live in Iraq and I see Europe in war. What do you want me to think about you? Like I see all these bad things.
Yeah, that's the sad thing about our world, really, is, through the act of news, we are given a false sense of knowledge about what a place is like, and, you know, really can't see that, there is a normal life there. What a complicated topic.
Yeah, but they don't know like your neighborhood, like my neighborhood, in my neighborhood, the next door to me, they were Christians, and I was like 4 years old. Yeah, and we grow up together, and they left Iraq in 2005 or six. Uh, so we are like 20 years friends or something. Like we don't knock each other doors. Like if you want to come to our house, he just open the door and go in. And he's a Christian, and I do the same if I want to go to, because we are close friends. We are like family. Yeah, man. I mean, like they have the rights to do so. But for myself, uh, after the after what happened here to the Christian people in Mosul, especially, I made a little diorama about the ISIS taking the cross from the church, and I show it in many, what do you call it, carnivals or something, and the people liked it, liked the idea that I am showing a point, uh, like how to say this in English. I am spotting one point that happened to the Christians in Iraq in like it doesn't matter the year, but I mean it's like showing what happened to them with a little diorama I made. So we don't care where are you from and what's your religion actually. Actually, it happened. A Christian woman came to the carnival and she never stopped till she reached my model, and then like she started to tears and to pray, and she asked, who made this diorama? And I said, it's me. She thanked me a lot for showing the pain of the moment, as you said. And I was like really happy because I thought myself I made a difference. Like it's a big thing for me, a big achievement.
Well, that must have been a very interesting moment, maybe even inspirational, to share that pain and anguish of that point in history. Hopefully it never happens again, obviously. But it's good to see that you've shared that. And I bet you that made you feel really good.
Yeah, man, it's a humanity thing. Yeah, but trust me, like uh not me, but many people here think like if you come to Iraq as a tourist, you will be a welcome. You will be treated very generously, and like they will put you in their hearts. It's war effect on people, man. It's what we had in this country, like we had and we're still having people dying. You lose your beloved ones, like in no time. Like you don't know if you go outside house, you don't know if you're going to come back. That's really hard. Like I wish if the others understand this. Like we live in stress all the time between the boom cars and between the government and between all the gangs, and I don't know, there is a monster here in this country, man. So it makes you a bit complicated person, like maybe angry or something. But I found my solution. Like I start modeling, and I'm good.
I just think to myself, in the midst of all this war, like since the 90s, really, um, you came out of it building models and found your passion in the art. What did people think about that?
At the first, yeah, like, what you doing, man? This is kids stuff, blah blah blah. And then I take photographs always and share it on my Facebook. And yeah, actually, uh, like one time they stopped me in a checkpoint while I was carrying my models with me, and they saw a tank and artillery, and the policeman was like, "What the fuck is this, dude?" I was like, "I'm showing." I said to him like, "I'm showing your artillery, your tanks in a good way to the other people, and to make the rest of the world knows what you guys suffering here in Iraq." So I built these models, and then he started to say, "Okay, thank you, that's good. You can leave, you can leave." But at the first, he was like, "What the fuck is this, dude? Get over the car."
Oh my, I'm sure that was a nervous moment.
Yeah, indeed. Like, he was like, "What is this? This gonna be explode or something?" No, man. This is just for the show. Yeah, they are painted and modeled by me, so don't worry.
So you said you share your models at carnivals and fairs, which in and of itself I find interesting. I never thought, I'm such a dummy sometimes, oh, do they have fairs in Iraq? Clearly you do. So is there any other kind of place where you can share your models, though, other than fairs?
Yeah, we have a place here in Al Rashid Street. They call it Al Qishle. There is a museum there. If you get lucky, you can get a space there and show your models. Like every Friday, people go to that place. Young people, old people, people, all kind of people go to there. Even ignorant and educated people go to there. No, just only for show. They go there to relax. So they see your models, and you get some interviews with TV channels and so on. If you get lucky, yeah, if they like your models, they will do.
So, Samir, I want to thank you for doing this interview. I'm going to do my best to show the rest of the world the best things about Iraq, and, to show that there is real life happening in, what is a beautiful country.
Show the bright side. Yeah. In that little talk, yeah, man, show the bright side.
So, Samir, it's been a wonderful chat. I want to thank you for coming on the show. It was,
Yeah, man, of course.
you know, it touches me to be able to find the humanity in the places of the world where, you know, I might not have in the back of my mind thought that way. So thank you for that. You really are doing a good thing for your people by sharing, you know, that you're normal. It's strange. I guess we're the strange ones. We don't really think right. We got a broken thinker. Anyways, I want to thank you all for watching this video. If you like this video, you can contribute to the cause at modelersguild.com/donate, or if you want to become a subscribed supporter, go over and become a patron over at patreon.com/Ron Perry. We've got 13 patrons so far, and they really drive the action on this channel. So I want to thank each and every one of my patrons. Finally, if you're not a subscriber, seems like 70% of my viewers are not subscribers. I guess I should ask more for people to subscribe. So please subscribe to the channel. Please. Por favor. Anyways, guys, so I want to thank you for watching once again. Check out the sponsors if you want to support the show. And we'll see you next time.